Hey, how's things? The sun is shining. We actually kind of have summer, at least today, because I'm recording this, because I am in intensive immersion. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I just can't even describe for you. So, Greg Bizzarri, Mark Gagnon's best friend. I was actually just visiting. So Mark is truly one of my dearest friends in the world. We have together the most phenomenal son, and then Mark has another boy, and then of course I have two more boys, and we're just, you know, it didn't work out, but it was never an ugly thing. It was never anybody cheating or beating or anything like that. It was just people change, and especially I was so young, and so this was Greg Bizzarri's thing. He's like, she's too young, she's not ready, don't marry her, he said to Mark. So I'm not sure, I've never asked Mark if he wished he had to listen to Greg or not. I'm sure he has had his moments. So Mark's best friend told Mark not to marry me as I hadn't lived yet. Good advice. I'm sure Marcus wished a time or 10,000 that he had listened to Greg. Poor Mark, he had no idea that I was Cinderella, or that he was supposed to save me and ride off into some sunset. Mark wanted to leave our wedding bash early, but for me, there was no freaking way. We had put $10,000 for that date, and all these great out-of-town guests deserved for us to stay and party. Mark dedicated wind beneath my wings, and I dedicated to him I Never Promised You a Rose Garden. Did I tell you? I know I sang it for you. Did I actually tell you that the horrible human that I am, I dedicated this song to him at our wedding? I thought it was funny. I was crouched down talking to Mark's sweet elderly grandmama when he came up and asked me if I was avoiding him. And the realization that maybe we were not the right fit started to sink in. Mark was and still is an incredible man, kind and hardworking. Mark is a great friend and a father to our son to this very day, and now grandpa to that little girl, of course. Speaking of whom, our incredible son Corey was born in October 1990, and the world became a much better place. Life is challenging in general. Life with Mark got too much for this Cinderella. Corey was 3 when I fell apart for the first time and confessed to Mark that I could not live as unhappy as I was. Mark saw it coming, took the news like a rock star, and even helped me and Corey move into an apartment. My warm and friendly hometown, however, was anything but warm and friendly. When I chose to leave a marriage where he wasn't beating or cheating, I got my first taste of how awful it feels to be tried and hung, guilty or not. It was rumored that I left Mark for a married cop. Not an effing chance. Not to curse, but seriously. I knew the guy I was supposedly sleeping around with. His absolutely amazing wife was one of my nurses when I had Corey. I had danced with him at a wedding once, like literally, that was it. That was the entire touch, that was the entire, it was like ridiculous. That was it. Crazy how people sometimes don't give two darns about the truth. I was devastated, embarrassed, and shameful for nothing that I had even done. My mom and I were in Vancouver on a buying trip for the flower shop when my dad called to say that married cop showed up on his doorstep to swear that he had never touched me. My dad called us in Vancouver at my nanny's laughing. I didn't find it funny at all. To this day, there are a few less than lovely peeps in our little town that actually believe that whole made up BS story. And to this day, I despise gossip. If I wasn't in the room, it's not going to come from me, and I will not listen either. I'm not perfect, you guys, I'm not, but to have been put through that level of injustice, like it was just so completely untrue, and it was like people really truly believed it. It was so sad for me. If the world could only know the pain caused by untrue and or embellished rumors. It was, however, the start of growing a second, thicker skin. Today I'm pretty good with haters. I see them and their angry face as a reflection of themselves in their own mirror and their own miserable life. Honestly, sucks to be them. I hope that was a little obnoxious. Oh, go Sandy. I hope if this stings a little that you take a look at the people who piss you off and really what it is. If you're judging or hating, could it be that you just have some of your own crap to work out? Everyone is just doing life, overcoming one struggle at a time. Stop hating, it's pointless. Even those who hurt or betray you along your journey, they too struggle every freaking day. Live and let live, let go, cut the strings. When we hate or blame, we give our power to change our own life away. After all, if our misery is somebody else's fault, we cannot change or correct it. Only that person we are blaming can, leaving us powerless. Freedom equals choice. Every day we are free to choose. Choose carefully, my friend. Today, choose to let one bitter, blame, thought, or judgment go. It feels amazing. My nanny was my childhood hero and a wow glamorous lady who could party like a rock star and drink most men under the table. When I was 16, while in the car with my mom driving Nanny to the airport from one of her pretty regular visits, my nanny shares one of my favorite memories with her. She says, Sandra, listen to me. Once you've been married twice and they both dropped dead, just have lovers. Holy shit. She thought mine and Mark's wedding was like Cinderella-like. The reason that I know this is because when Mark and I split up, my nanny told me, that our wedding day was perfect. Women only leave cheaters, beaters, or... She then asked me, are you frigid? I almost fell off my chair. Oh, nanny, you still crack me up. The final almost fall off my chair moment with my beautiful hero was years later when again I was visiting her in Vancouver. After a few glasses of her favorite wine, my nanny pipes up and the page is done. I hope that's a bit of a cliffhanger and you show up tomorrow for what my crazy awesome nanny had to say to me back then. Oh, I love you. Oh, I love my life. Mwah. Thanks for hanging out with me down memory lane. It is so much fun for me.